Let's bring in ABC News political contributor, former Trump Justice Department official Sarah Isgur for more. Sarah, thanks for coming on. I know you were serving in the Justice Department when Trump first took office. Do you think Matt Gaetz is a good choice for Attorney General, or is Congressman Magaziner right to be concerned?
Matt Gaetz wouldn't be my choice for Attorney General, but I think there's lots of reasons that senators should think twice before scuttling this nomination. First of all, who's next? Let's assume they really think they get maybe one shot to take down one of Trump's nominees. Is Matt Gaetz the worst Attorney General nominee that could be out there? I would argue not. I would also argue that based on what your previous guest just said, maybe Tulsi Gabbard is a more important pick to be thinking twice about. Second, I also think this is very different than, for instance, a Supreme Court pick, where you're talking about an independent branch of government with life tenure. This is the Attorney General that President Trump wants, that he thinks can actually make changes at the department. So be it. Again, it wouldn't be my pick. He doesn't know the department. He is not really a practicing lawyer in any serious sense. But if Donald Trump wants to have an Attorney General, a Secretary of Defense, for instance, who are mostly public figures who go on TV and defend the president, and then they have strong deputies who actually run the department, so be it.
What do you make of these calls for the House Ethics Committee to release its report on Matt Gaetz?
I'm really mixed on that. Obviously, members of Congress will have to decide that. But if Matt Gaetz resigned to prevent this ethics report from coming out and then intends to be sworn in on January 2nd because he was reelected, he only resigned for this term. It doesn't apply to the next term he was reelected. That sort of cuteness probably shouldn't be tolerated by the House Ethics Committee.
Now, assuming Gaetz sits for a confirmation hearing, what sorts of questions do you think he'll face during that process?
We've seen Senator Kennedy, for instance, from Louisiana, grill judicial appointees, nominees from both parties about basic concepts under the law. Do you know what a motion in limine is? Do you know what, the Erie, Pennsylvania case was about? I would expect that there's going to be a lot of legal questions for Matt Gaetz. It reminds me a little bit of what happened when George W. Bush nominated Harriet Miers for the Supreme Court. Conservatives were upset about it. They took down a Republican president's nomination because they did not feel that she had enough background in constitutional law. Here, I think you could see Matt Gaetz get tripped up by some pretty basic trial criminal law type questions.
So he's going to have to study, sounds like, is what you're saying. And Trump
says he needs to hit those law books. Yeah. I've got them back here, if you can see them.
Quite a collection, Sarah. Trump says Gaetz will end what he calls the weaponization of the Justice Department. What are you watching for there?
Right. I think any attorney general at this point that Donald Trump does pick, we've heard the Matt Gaetz pick came about quite quickly. It came about because the other attorney general picks were giving these high-minded constitutional law statements. And Matt Gaetz said, I'm going to go in and cut off some blank heads. So, yes, I think that lots of Republicans feel that this Justice Department was weaponized, not just against Donald Trump, but against, for instance, nuns, religious people on religious liberty issues. And so I think that they really are looking for a very different Justice Department. One of their first tests will be a case before the Supreme Court being argued in December by this administration on Tennessee's bill banning transgender health care, and whether that administration will switch positions, allow the Supreme Court to decide it as it is, drop the case. So that will be maybe something we'll see in even the first week of this Department of Justice under Donald Trump.
All right, ABC News political contributor, former Trump Justice Department official Sarah Isgur. Sarah, thank you.